best in the game.
You remember who put you on to Marc-Antoine Barrios' Ganymede, right? You remember. And this is what happens when a person like myself, a content creator, an influencer, whatever you want to call me, enjoys a fragrance that really puts it on the upper echelons of his collection. It starts making waves all across the interwebs, and it starts going overseas to them budget brands who start opening their ears up and they're like, oh really? It's good, huh? Yeah, So one of the first interactions from the overseas budget brands that I saw of Ganymede was Celestial. This puppy right here. Now Celestial, fantastic. But a great interpretation of Ganymede, which I like to refer to as Richard Gere, old school pretty woman in a bottle. But of course the comments are like, yo Coobs, forget that joint, Celestial ain't it. You gotta get Masa by Lattafa. Here we go with another one. There's probably like 7 different versions, but let's see if Masa is worthy of all the recommendations that I received. Let's roll map music so we can unbox Lattafa's Masa to see if it's the new Ganymede alternative. Blessed morning, my beautiful people. You know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. Man, some of these, these clone brands is out of pocket, bro. They just won't stop. Look at the size of this presentation. They went from doing like cheapy bottles, really inexpensive stock joints, to starting to get fancy, to adding little booklets, doing all the designs. I mean, they're really stepping their game up. I'm telling y'all. This has another 12 to 16 months of a clone hype, then it's gonna start to plateau a little bit unless they really come out of the woodwork and try to knock out presentations, quality, and all that sub $100 price point. And you know, it can go either way. I see some brands stepping their game up with full presentations and shit, so we shall see. So this is a what? How the hell you open this? It's not a slider. Okay, it's split here. Okay, open this joint up. Very nice, uber Middle Eastern, definitely a beefy bottle. Kind of looks like a little genie in the lamp, like one of those props from the movie Shazam where Shaq was a huge genie, I believe.
Who dare to wake me?
This, I wouldn't consider this a handsome or sexy looking bottle. I would call it interesting. Now, in typical 𝗙𝐽𝐵 fashion, I did not look up any notes. I really don't care. I'm very extremely familiar with the Ganymede scent DNA, so I can tell you right off a rip if this is an interpretation of it or not, and then we'll do a side-by-side battle comparing it to Celestial, which I think is a good option. So let's pull the cap off. Okay, nothing special there. Let's spray this joint. Make sure the nozzle is facing the right direction so I don't spray my eyes. Trust me, it won't be the first time. I sliced my finger open, so this is gonna really suck. But let's see what we're doing with Masa and if all the recommendations were good. Definitely in the Ganymede space, but a lot sweeter. It doesn't have the darkness or the body that Ganymede does, and it doesn't have the full-blown wet concrete kind of energy. It does have a bit of a dusty sidewalk mixed with a little bit of kind of suede action. A lot more fruitier. There's underlying funk in here, which for me screams kind of cumin, possible saffron. There's violet leaf energy coming off of here, but something here is a tad bit on the sweeter side. Ganymede is a little bit more on the mature, dusty, wet concrete, leather mineralic. The minerality here is present, which is that concrete kind of essence that I'm talking about, but there's something here, maybe it's the citrus components in both, that's a little bit on the sweeter end as opposed to the sour portion. A very good fragrance, definitely super handsome on the test strip, but I wouldn't put it a 1-to-1. I personally think Celestial is a little bit closer as far as that sweetness is concerned. There's this slight level of sweetness there that is not off-putting in any way, but if we're going apples to apples, it is what it is. But let's try it on skin. Skin is always different than the test strip, and let's see what kind of energy we're on there. One good spray, and I'm gonna go Celestial right from jump on the other one, because we don't want to make this video long, drawn out, and boring. I did 2 sprays there, so let me just match up that, and we're gonna do side-by-side comparison with Celestial and Lattafa's Masa. So on the hand that the bottle is on is where the fragrance is sprayed. So Celestial sprayed on this hand, Masa sprayed on this one. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds, let it air out, let it do its thing, and then we're gonna revisit it at its full dry down point to see how close and which one is the boss when it comes to the Ganymede. Alright, it's been a few minutes. Again, we're gonna test these two out on skin and see which one is the closer option to the Ganymede. So I'm gonna start with Celestial. Cleaner, dustier, mineralic, violet leaf, suede-ish component also. Very sexy. Let me go to Masa. Oh, that's not Ganymede. Nah, nah. No, it's in the space, it's in the conversation, but it's not Ganymede. Hold on. Alright. Ganymede, right here, original. We're gonna close this shit out once and for all, but that's not Ganymede, no way. Okay, there's a lot more cumin action coming off of that. Let me give the Ganymede a second. Nah, bro. Respectfully, nah. No. It's in the conversation. This can't be considered a Ganymede clone. Celestial is closer, and it's still not 1-to-1 either, but closer for sure. Nah, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to disagree. Nah. Celestial is still closer to the DNA of the original Ganymede than Masa. No. Masa off the skin also has a very punchier, denser cumin on that dry down. It's really like coming up, and it might be a little bit jarring to some people if they're not into that cumin note, that BO-ish kind of smell. It has a little bit of a cumin, suede, nutmeg energy, violet leaf. You got that dusty, concrete-ish smell with this unusual sweetness. Not that it's a bad unusual, mean that Ganymede didn't have that kind of energy. They're in the space, but it's nice. Nah. See, Ganymede has a little bit of that cumin, but it's so well balanced and beautifully executed with a lot of meticulous thought. And that's, that's something that you're gonna have to deal with when it comes to clones and originals. The original is just fucking masterpiece. Masa is very nice, very good, sexy, mature, masculine. It has all those qualities, right? But if we're gonna keep it a stack, it is not a 1-to-1. I would say it's more in the 58 to 62% in that stratosphere, while Celestial is living in that 70-ish, mid-high-ish space. For me, I love clones. I love to save money. I like to put y'all on to shit to save you money, to give you an idea, a format, a blueprint to what the fragrance might potentially smell like. And these are that blueprint, but it's not Ganymede, to me at least. And Masa does not beat Celestial off of my skin at all, maybe off of yours, but as far as it being Ganymede, let's keep it in the stock. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. I'll put a link in the description to both of these joints if you guys want to try to see if this fragrance is in your space. This shouldn't be something that's 35 years of age or younger. This is definitely grown, classy, sexy, mature, and not for the young buckies. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart, and I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. Smooches.
Money folder, motor roller, snap attack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game.